So good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya. I am the Minister of Jobs, Economy and Innovation for the Government of Alberta and also the Associate Minister of Red Tape Reduction. And it is absolutely fantastic to be in Southern Alberta today, specifically in Lethbridge. Thank you to the Saylor Brothers and Southland for hosting us today. One of the great things about being the Minister of Jobs, Economy and Innovation and the Associate Minister of Red Tape Reduction is that I get to spend a lot of my time talking about good news for Albertans. And let's be clear on 2 points. There has been a lot of good news lately. I am confident the economic good news will continue for Alberta. 2 years ago, our government launched Alberta's Recovery Plan, and one of the pillars that we have been focusing on is the diversification of our economy. Diversification does not just happen by accident. It requires a lot of thought and hard work, and it also requires that we have the right policies, regulations, and initiatives in place. If you'll indulge me for a moment as I put on my red tape reduction hat, it also means ensuring that we remove the unnecessary and burdensome processes and regulations that are getting in the way of being able to do business smartly and efficiently. We have already seen some strong diversification of Alberta's economy. Our tech and innovation sector is growing exponentially, and we've seen continued growth recently through an announcement by Silicon Valley's Level 42 AI that they are launching Vibram in Edmonton, and an announcement by global tech powerhouse Infosys that they're already looking to double their Calgary workforce only a year and a half after first announcing they were coming to Alberta. Our film and television industry continues to grow each day and brings us closer to the release of HBO's The Last of Us coming next year. We talk a lot about The Last of Us, but let's not forget other productions including Ghostbusters, Prey, Fargo Season 5, Under the Banner of Heaven, and more. In our aviation and aerospace sectors, we've seen huge announcements from Condor Airlines and from de Havilland. And there's some crossover there too, with growth in our manufacturing sector, which also includes an earlier investment from CGC. We're seeing growth in agriculture and in energy, and we're adding logistics and pharmaceuticals. Alberta is on a roll, and we want to keep that going. That's why our Investment and Growth Fund is an important part of our work to attract and retain investment right here in Alberta. We first launched the Investment and Growth Fund in 2021 to encourage new, high-impact private sector investments in Alberta to create well-paying jobs and diversify our economy. In Budget 2022, we expanded it to include funds specifically allocated to attract investment to areas outside of our major urban centers. Our efforts are working. In addition to our work on red tape reduction and our job creation tax cut, the Investment and Growth Fund increases Alberta's competitiveness to encourage investment in the province. Many companies prepared to invest in new projects are seeking a proactive signal of commitment and support from our government. A deal closing incentive, regardless of amount, shows serious investors that investment attraction, and in particular, high impact investments that create meaningful jobs, is a high priority for the province. That's also where the Invest Alberta Corporation comes in. Invest Alberta is a key partner for us in this work. They join us in being focused on attracting more private sector investment to our province, and I know that they are an important part of the reason we're here today. Invest Alberta has been working with Southland Trailers, who is the first recipient of funds through the rural stream of the Investment and Growth Fund. Congratulations, and thank you for your commitment to our province. It is so great to be able to celebrate your expansion in Lethbridge County. It is great news for Southland, for Lethbridge County, and for Alberta as a whole. We welcome companies like Southland here to help us continue on the positive trajectory we're on. We want companies like Southland to join us and be a part of the economic momentum that we're experiencing. I know my colleague, Minister Horner, is going to have more to say on this, and we'll also hear from Ryan about Southland's work and growth. So I'll close by repeating that this is another great day for Alberta's economy and for Alberta's future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Minister Furr. I agree, it's a great day. And good morning to everybody. I'll be brief. I see we got production halted here. We don't want to cut into the efficiency of this place, but we would like to congratulate Southland on your expansion, which will double production. This is a huge deal for Southland, obviously, but also for Lethbridge County and for Alberta in general. We used our investment and growth funds rural stream for the first time to ensure Alberta remained the best choice for Southland Trailers' planned expansion. As Rural Economic Development Minister, and also as a rural person, a rancher, I know that many obstacles faced by my neighbors, rural businesses, and rural economies are unique and different from the challenges that exist in urban areas. This is why our government will continue to listen, support, and invest in Alberta's communities. A number of our initiatives demonstrate our commitment to building healthy and prosperous rural communities, including the Alberta Broadband Strategy that will invest up to $390 million over 4 years to help eliminate the digital divide in rural communities, a historic investment of nearly $933 million to modernize irrigation infrastructure across southern Alberta, a very big deal for this part of the world, a $59 million expansion of the Veterinary Medicine College at the University of Calgary, doubling the number of seats in the program to address a critical shortage of large animal veterinarians, and more than $8 million through the Indigenous Opportunities Corporation to support Indigenous communities' participation in commercially viable resource projects. We will continue growing our economy and creating jobs by ensuring Alberta businesses like Southland Trailers have access to the resources they need to be successful. So special thanks to Invest Alberta, I know Mr. Christians is here, for helping get this deal across the finish line. And once again, congratulations to the folks at Southland Trailer and their team here in Lethbridge. I'll now, it's probably not right to say I'm going to invite you in your own shop, but I'd ask Ryan to come up from Southland Trailers and give some remarks. Thank you all.
Good morning and welcome. I'd like to say a special welcome to Minister Furr and Minister Horner and everybody from the province of Alberta. Thank you very much for being here. We're very excited to receive the support from the province of Alberta on this expansion. This investment directly influenced our decision about keeping this expansion within Canada and ultimately southern Alberta. It means keeping strong manufacturing jobs here in Alberta and reinforcing manufacturing as the backbone to the southern Alberta economy. This expansion allows us to vertically integrate our supply chain further, resulting in more streamlined operations, more employment within southern Alberta, and ultimately more dollars going into the Alberta economy versus purchasing abroad and having those dollars leave the province. We estimate approximately a 30% increase in our throughput as a result of this expansion. This is due to more efficient processes and workflows that eliminate waste in our current process. Additionally, this will create more intricate manufacturing processes, which will result in higher paying positions and more skilled jobs. With this, it will expand our leadership base within the community through our in-house leadership program, which produces a variety of new leadership positions within our company and ultimately developing our leaders of tomorrow. We're thrilled that this new plant will employ up to an additional 250 people, and we've already started recruiting and hiring for this facility. For any information on this, you can visit us at southlandtrailers.com. The new jobs created means we'll be able to offer apprenticeships not only now in welding, but plumbing, HVAC, electrical, HD mechanic, and carpentry. We're currently working with Southern Alberta high schools and their RAP programs, and the Lethbridge College on expanding these trades and apprenticeships here at Southland. We're targeting to have production started in this facility by the summer of 2023. And in closing, I would like to thank all the team members here at Southland. Without the hard work and dedication from each and every one of you, we wouldn't be who we are and where we are today. So thank you all very much for that. The culture in this company is truly amazing, and we're very much looking forward to seeing the growth. So thanks again for everyone being here today.
Right, good morning everybody, and thank you to Minister Furr and Minister Horner and all the fine folks here at Southland Trailers for inviting me to be part of this exciting announcement. My name is Jason Schneider, and I have the best job in Alberta. I represent the Southern Alberta part of the province with the rural municipalities of Alberta. And every day I get to represent all 69 of the rural and specialized municipalities across this province. And from corner to corner, we're doing great things and we're getting it done and we're showing why rural Alberta matters. As the Alberta economy rebounds from a tough couple of years, it's been rural Alberta that's been really leading the charge. The story of rural Alberta and the opportunities it contains is something that organizations like ours have been preaching for years. And as evident from the flurry of announcements that we've been seeing, including this one here today, more and more businesses are realizing that you don't need to be in Calgary or Edmonton, and they're taking advantage of rural Alberta in order to gain a competitive advantage. Rural Alberta, we've got the talents, we've got the ideas, and we've got the infrastructure to continue to push Alberta's economy onwards and upwards. And today's announcement is yet another example of how businesses outside the metropolitan areas are taking advantage and expanding to build their businesses. And it's a great example of how Albertans are creating solutions for Albertans. The partnerships that businesses, rural municipalities, and the provincial government are creating today are going to be paying dividends for many generations to come. When it was announced that Southland Trailer was going to be the first investment of the rural stream of the Investment and Growth Fund, it was one of the announcements that just truly made sense. I actually had an opportunity a few years ago to view the production facilities, and it was very apparent that this is a top or a first-class operation, and the success that has been successful and has been successful while still being fine, upstanding corporate citizens. And this expansion here today is an exciting day. And but I have, if I was going to wager a bet, I'd say this might not be the last one. Looking at the facilities here, it's fantastic. So I'd just like to give a special thanks to both Minister Horner and Minister Furr, both of them being great advocates for rural Alberta, as well as thanking the provincial government for understanding and recognizing the role that rural Alberta plays in Alberta's economic growth. This is evident with the announcement of the rural stream of the Investment and Growth Fund, and I'm looking forward to many more announcements just like we are having here today all across the province that's going to take advantage of this program. And I truly believe we're going to look back on the investments that we're making today, and the only regret that we're going to have is that we wish we would have done more. So in closing, I'd just like to thank and congratulate everyone here at Southland Trailer. And congratulations on this exciting announcement and expansion, and for all the good work that you guys do day in and day out. Thank you.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the formal part of our news conference today, and we do have the opportunity for some questions and answers. There's a microphone for media in the room that's just kind of right over there if you want to ask a question. We also have some callers on the line, I know. If you are on the line and you'd like to ask a question, you just need to press *1. All of our speakers here this morning are happy to take your questions. Just a reminder, we have Ministers Furr and Horner. We have Ryan from Southland Trailers, Jason from Rural Municipalities of Alberta, and Rick from Invest Alberta Corporation as well. I'll start in the room here. If you'd just like to identify yourself and your outlet and to which speaker or speakers you'd like to ask a question, you can go ahead with a question and a follow-up.
Hi, David Opinko from Lethbridge News Now. I have a couple questions for Ryan. So Ryan, can you just talk a bit more about the details of the expansion, like what all is going to be done out of that facility and where it's going to be located?
Yeah, you betcha. So the expansion will be just to the east of this building, one block to the east, and it'll do our cargo trailer production predominantly. So currently that's done over in a different building, and that building is a little bit constrained right now with size, and so it reduces our ability to optimize flow. And so adding that extra square footage will allow us to streamline our flow.
And just one more question for you. You mentioned that originally you had thought about potentially expanding somewhere else, but this investment kind of encouraged you to do it here. Can you talk about, I guess, just what the original plans were and what was it about this investment that made you decide to do it here?
Yeah, being born and raised in Southern Alberta, ultimately we did want the dollars to stay here, but we had to do our due diligence in other regions. And so looking at areas outside of Southern Alberta, but within Canada, and then also areas outside of Canada with it. So we had to kind of look at the entire spectrum of what other offerings were out there. And the pros and cons of both of those, but ultimately in partnering with Invest Alberta and keeping things here, it made the most sense for us to stay. So we're excited to do that, obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, thanks. I understand at the moment we have no questions on the line. Do you have any more?
I just had one for Minister Fur, if that's okay if I just ask one more.
Yep, we'll go ahead. We'll give the folks on the line a little bit more time to press star one there, and we'll go with one more question here first.
Hi, Minister Fur. David again from Lethbridge News Now. Can you just talk about how much money the province is investing here, and I guess why Southland was chosen to be the first for this investment fund?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to ask Tricia to help me out if I get this wrong. I believe this was a $2 million, just over $2 million. And I'm going to get Rick to add some more information as well. Just over $2 million of the rural stream of the Investment Growth Fund. And just echoing what Ryan said, this is such great news for the area. You know, Alberta's booming, the economy's booming. This is good for jobs, for diversification. And when we can hire more locals here and the economy can benefit from that, it's fantastic news. And we got a little bit of a tour of the facility, and it's so impressive what they're doing here, and the expansion that they're going to be creating is just, it's a good news story for the province. I'm going to ask Rick to just add some more color to my comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. To us, there were a couple of things that really attracted us to work partnering with Southland on this. Number one, they are well established here and do great work here and have a track record of growth. That's important to us. Secondly, they export. So this allows us to penetrate the U.S. more effectively. And so by enabling Southland with this investment, we enable more export growth, which diversifies the economy here in Alberta better. The third point was we like investing in communities like Lethbridge. It's not just about the larger cities, it's about the smaller communities as well. And we're going to further expand into the rural markets as this rural stream will allow us to do. But for us, this was a good anchor to start with and work from there. And it's just been a fantastic relationship with Southland. So I just want to commend the team here because it's been really smooth and really fun to work together. And we look forward to partnering in the future.
Operator, can you put through our first caller?
Rick Dunkard, CDC.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Calling for Ryan, if at all possible. Could you please elaborate a little bit more about what it is from the Invest Alberta Growth Fund that was more attractive than what other communities outside the Lethbridge region were offering?
Yeah, thank you for that question. The dollars, I guess, on looking at it apples to apples, they were all fairly similar from other regions and things like that. But like I mentioned earlier, things logistically are much easier if we keep our facilities closer, moving the parts, training people within the facilities, transferring people within the facilities, job knowledge, growth, all that type of stuff becomes much easier from a logistical standpoint. So the investment side was obviously a big component of it, but our preference was to stay within Southern Alberta, and so this was just kind of that last piece of the puzzle that allowed us to kind of create that tipping point, if you will, to stay here and make that commitment.
Did you have a follow-up?
I don't. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
All right, I understand we have no other questions on the line or in the room, so I'll thank everyone for coming. I think we are going to take a bit of a group photo here, but otherwise, have a great day.